Do you like to hear about haunted houses and haunted places? I know I always find them interesting, and man, do I have a story to tell you about tonight. This one goes out to my Aunt Carol, who requested anything I know about haunted places. Well, I have personal experience with this location, the haunted Jerome Grand Hotel here in Arizona. The Jerome Grand Hotel started out as the United Verdi Hospital in 1927 in Jerome, Arizona. It served as a hospital and asylum. This 5-story Spanish mission-style building sits at an elevation of 5,240 feet, dominating the horizon above the little village of Jerome. Jerome was a mining town with plenty of mining accidents in the early 1900s and in need of a hospital. The hospital was constructed on a 50-degree slope. That's right, 50 degrees. And when you're in the town, you can look up from about anywhere in the town and see it up there. Over 9,000 people died here at the hospital, a huge amount of them in the operating room. It was only open for 23 years and closed in 1950. So that's a lot of death. That's a little over a death per day when it was open, when you do the math. Pretty unbelievable, right? It sat vacant for nearly half a century until 1994. It was bought and started being restored as a hotel. It opened again for business as a hotel in 1996. The elevator is from 1926 and is surprisingly still operational. Steam heat is provided in the rooms via the original boiler. It does feel like a step back in time, a seriously big step back. The Jerome Grand Hotel is said to be one of the most haunted buildings in Arizona. It probably is the most haunted with the most reports. And many spooky events have occurred here. In one of the original guest rooms, room 32, which is reportedly one of the most haunted rooms in the whole hotel, a man in a wheelchair had fallen from the balcony and died. In the same room, a man shot himself to death. A caretaker hanged himself in one of the rooms. Also, a handyman named Claude Harvey died here in 1935. He was found pinned and crushed beneath the elevator. Nonetheless, the elevator, still operational 1926 Otis model, is said to have a mind of its own and go up and down in the night with nobody in it. Some say Claude Harvey's ghost rides the elevator up and down in the middle of the night when no one is on board. People have reported seeing a shadow ghost in the basement going about his work duties, apparently Claude Harvey himself. People report hearing a hospital gurney's wheels going up and down the halls in the middle of the night, only to peek out of their room and no one is there. The 3rd floor is supposedly the most haunted, and that is the floor, of course, that had the operating room. That's where most of the deaths occurred. The owner of the hotel said, and I quote, "I once received a phone call at the front desk from an unoccupied room, and I heard a lady say something, but it was inaudible. I called back and there was no answer. I walked up there and the room was vacant." These kind of things would happen at the hotel all the time. In 2011, the Travel Channel came to explore the hotel for their Ghost Adventure series. They found unexplained doors slamming, unexplained dark masses, and voices captured. The crew mentioned they felt numbness and tingling in their extremities. They could not explain what was going on. Many people claim that when taking pictures here, they turn out with a weird ghostly haze on them. Coincidentally, when taking a picture here just after dark on a clear night around 2004, I experienced the same thing. These were days when you had to send off your film for developing. When the picture came back, it had mysterious ghostly haze coming through the middle of the picture, kind of like a real light hazy fog, but the rest of the picture was clear. It was really eerie. The rest of the pictures that we had taken all over Jerome that night were perfectly clear with no sign of the ghostly haze. It is said by many that you can hear footsteps going up and down the halls when no one is there, and noises and voices coming from rooms that have been sealed off for half a century. Other occurrences that are common to hear in the hotel include moaning, heavy breathing, coughing, doors flying open, and lights turning on and off by themselves. Objects will move without being touched, and sometimes items have gone flying across rooms with no explanation. Guests also report seeing a ghostly cat on the third floor, and have seen and felt it hop onto their bed and seen an imprint in the bedding where they just saw it. They have felt it rub up against their legs. They've heard it purring, meowing, and also scratching at the door. In 2008, a guest staying in room 20 was able to get a clear image of the cat sitting on a table and looking at the photographer. This image now resides at the front desk. Guests have also commonly mentioned seeing a boy about age 4 or 5 running up and down the hallways laughing or crying. The same boy has also been seen in the hotel rooms when guests were asleep, and they would wake up and see him staring at them from the foot of the bed. We stayed a night in the hotel probably around 2006. The steam heat was very interesting and accounted for a little bit of the noises we encountered. I remembered we did hear a noise or two in the hallway. That was a little creepy, but not too bad. But we only stayed one night, and apparently it was a relaxing night for the ghosts. Stay a night here and see if the spirits and their antics keep you up all night long. Like and subscribe if you like these kind of stories.